results on that and calibrate the model specific for their population. So this is the process of what we call as the federated learning that we are using now in most of our different technologies across the engagement. We are very, very specific about what we do with the data. And then there is another principle that we developed at Apollo Hospital, we call it EASE, where we look at ethics, adoption, suitability, and explainability in each of the processes of data curation, machine learning, and working to actually put it into clinical processes.
I hope that answers your very important question, because we want everyone to be more aware about the importance of appropriately using data, and that we are very committed to following all the guidelines and in fact beyond the current guidelines towards creating a safe and ethical environment. Next question.
Thank you, and to your entire team. So, are you involving blockchain or the machine learning? You already told about it. So, will it also connect the social anthropological aspect of behavioral and food habits and all these things to relate it into a disease, like for example the lifestyle disease especially? So, will it connect that as well?
So while this is definitely in the roadmap, and we will come out with something further on this in the next few months, this current scenario is not yet there. However, Daryl has other additions to his program, so we are collaborating in a limited manner, not limited, I would say significant manner, but a very specific manner of sharing our risk scoring with their platform. And this is, like I said, a validation of an India-centric, rich clinical insights environment, which they are happy to use and to validate in other geographies globally.
100%.
In addition to that, they have other initiatives where they connect with their customers. So Daryl may want to talk about that.
So we see a broad opportunity, and I'll make reference to Healthier SG as an example, where government wants to support and empower populations to keep well, get well, age well within their communities and home. And naturally, that is a broader lifestyle, wellness, health outlook. And so these tools that we're collaborating with Apollo are fundamental to empowering and supporting our advancements in the developmental wellness score, as I mentioned earlier, that can make it easy for people to understand what is positively and negatively contributing to their health, to support the development of care plans, lifestyle plans that can recommend positive lifestyle modifications that can be objectively measured, and you can see the benefit of those lifestyle modifications in generating improved health outcomes, reducing risk of complications, and downstream cost burden on the nation and worldwide. So that gives you hopefully a broad context of what we're all working towards to achieve collectively together. And no one organisation can do it alone. It's absolutely a team, collaborative, cross-border efforts. And this is something that's passionately believed by Dr. Alex and many of the stakeholders that we work with in Europe, Asia Pac and elsewhere.
We have another question from Mr. Arivantham, Executive Editor, navjeevanexpress.com, and he wants to know if whether this patient data will be shared for medical research purposes.
So this data is been already used in different research areas. So whether it's the incidence of cardiovascular disease younger in Indians than their Caucasian counterparts, which is a seminal piece of work which was done by us, but various others which are pointers and indicators. There are additional papers on the importance of systolic blood pressure versus diastolic blood pressure, which is something which has been quoted in medical books for a long time but never really validated in the current day. And our AI-CVD score brought out that additional risk. So besides that, various other insights have been extracted and published in medical research journals. Dr. Shiv Kumar, would you like to add to that, please?
Basically, we are having a huge clinical data, and then we do use into different things, but provided we do all the initial ethical committee's approvals. It's not like the one data is there which is used and taken out everywhere. And for a specific purpose, suppose if you are doing it for a heart failure study, as ma'am said, if it is a blood pressure, systolic versus a diastolic blood pressure, whether it is a young versus old. So in a different subsets, we are applying this data, but for individual those trials, we have taken proper the ethical committee's approvals as well as the research TRAI, the approvals also are first taken, and then this data is put to use.
Perfect. Next question, please.
Ami, you are on mute. You can't keep.
Vishwanath?
Yeah, yes. Ma'am, this is Vishwanath from Economic Times. Just want to ask you, I mean, like this risk, at the risk assessment score that you are giving, I mean, there's a lot of corporates and insurers, who are very keenly want to have such data in their hand to kind of in terms of providing their insurance, and which has become very critical. Like, would you be partnering with with corporates or insurers on this at a later stage?
So we've actually done significant amount of work with corporates. Our first offering is of course the Apollo Health Check. The Health Check has now been transformed to Apollo Pro Health Check, which you must have heard about. Pro Health now starts with a risk scoring or a health risk assessment. It then moves into a AI-enabled creation of personalized test requirements. Once those tests are analyzed and done, then it gives a health of the individual and gives to that individual a path to wellness. Beyond that, we collate the health of that corporate and share it with their senior leadership so that they can work on improving the health index of their entire corporate. So this initiative has been, over the last 2-3 years, become very popular with corporates. Even now we're continuing to do it. We've enhanced our mental health and wellness initiative over the last 2 years. We're improving our the initiatives around this. We've also done an important initiative now that we're working on and will bring to you fairly shortly, is a mental health assessment. We're also looking at flexibility and physical health, because people have now become conscious of weight. They've understood the importance of cholesterol, but the aspect of losing functional mobility over the years and maybe taking us all the way back to yoga. So there are many implications of studying this data and helping to create solutions. I'll add one more thing. All of you were party to the national press conference that we had, which was the health of the nation. So we use this risk score and many other data points to collate the overall understanding that we have based on our knowledge of the Health of the Nation report. This is an annual initiative from us, and we do it because we want to highlight the importance of population health. If any other questions?
Do we have time to take one more question?
Sure. 2 last questions if you need.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have a question from Shraddha. Shraddha, please go ahead and ask the question.
People.
Do we have any other questions?
So if we have no other questions, we'll log off with a thank you to all of you. I will reiterate our excitement about this partnership with Fitbit, backed by Google, with Daryl, with his 1 million customers on the platform, and I'm so happy that through this partnership, we can share the risk scoring with over 1 million people, and of course with like-minded healthcare institutions like Alexandra Hospital, so that we can deepen our insights and our ability to serve customers. I of course thank our team, Sujoy, who's really been at the heart of this and continues to have many interesting AI projects up his sleeve, and Dr. Shiv Kumar for your continuous support. Thank you all very much. Daryl, for traveling, being here, and for all the other conversations we're going to have towards keeping populations healthy.
That's a pleasure. It's a real honor. Thank you.
Thank you all, and namaste.